Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Lost Gaming. Last time we went through a pretty short dungeon to get the spiral edge for Natsume, and now we're going to continue on with the main story of the game and head into the protected area. So, as usual, one of the first things we can take care of is just go ahead and get our buffs going and get those fairy orbs out. As you can see, the monsters here are a good bit bigger and a good bit stronger than the ones that we saw last time. But thanks to our grinding, don't really pose too much of a threat. There's a couple of enemies that I think might show up that could be a good bit more dangerous. Ooh, and that's a confusion ability. That causes some problems, because it can make you attack allies and enemies. It's not quite as dangerous as Charm, but it's still not good. It can make things really dangerous if you take a party that's got some lower levels in it and you get charmed or confused. It can really ruin a run. But like I said, because I found out that the characters that you bring with you do have some items of their own, it's not quite as dangerous a situation, because you just need to make sure to have them use first aid and they'll take care of you. But just to sort of show off some monsters in the field a little bit, we'll open a couple more and then we'll head on into the dungeon. We won't open all of them up in here. As I mentioned in the last episode, I've done some talking with Hasher over on the .hack Network Discord server. Apologies if I butchered that name. But he also gave me some information on how
did you lose a goal?
Infection mechanic works a little bit.
Let's see. Just with the weapon go to in cut.
As it becomes a little bit more relevant,
Till next.
We'll probably talk about that. Right now, it's not really something to be too concerned with, as long as we defeat enemies and really have anything to worry about with. And there's what I was talking about with the... Yeah, this is becoming a problem, as you can see. That can get very dangerous very quickly. I think we've probably seen all the monsters that we need to in here. So let's head on into the dungeon and let's move this along a little bit. As you can see, even though this place is corrupted, because the field itself was locked, there's not an admin telling us not to enter and then doing nothing about it. I mean, I never really stopped to think about just how bizarre a situation that is in a game till I was playing through this time. Just didn't understand why any MMO would bother putting an admin, even if it's just an admin NPC, in an area, telling players not to go through it, and then still allowing the players to access it. That just doesn't make any kind of sense. And honestly, it would kind of tell me that it's almost something that they were expecting players to do. I mean, general human nature, if you tell somebody not to go somewhere, their first instinct is to, let's go that way. Going through this dungeon and exploring it a little bit more. So far it's been really straightforward and nothing to it, so there's no real reason not to. But again, if that's something you guys would prefer to see me cut out of future recordings, just let me know. I kind of do these in a bit of a block when I can, because this is kind of just a hobby for me. I don't do it consistently, so when I have free time, I try to do a couple episodes at a time just to get it out of the way and have a little bit saved up for when I wouldn't be able to record. Alright, so we're kind of figured out what this means when we see it.
If you approach a magic portal, data bugs will show up. If you data drain those bugs, you can get virus cores from them. There has to be a reason why you have that bracelet. You will go there to find out the reason.
The reason why I have this bracelet?
That will help get folk into the action and actually make them do something. So if I remember correctly, yes, he is the Improved Elemental, so using wood magic to hurt on him pretty quick with elemental hits. As you can see, he hits pretty hard. See,
This
not really a whole lot
bracelet
to it.
actually belongs to my friend.
I don't care what happened to you in the past. But I am interested in what you're going to do with the bracelet in the future. Well, that's about it. If there's anything I can do to help you, I'll try my best.
Thanks.
There's no need to thank me. I'm just doing what I want to do.
Hey, Mia.
And then, as is pretty usual when you fight a data bug, you get automatically warped out back to town. And as you can see by myself, so since we've got a few more minutes left, let's go ahead and take on the second Goblin Tag event before we call it an episode.
Try me, Tanu the Gobbler, one of the 4 Gob Kings.
As you can see, since we didn't really go over this the last time, he runs a good little bit faster than us normally. And he's definitely a little bit harder to hit than the one last time. But with the accuracy up and speed boost, and didn't really take anything.
Beating Stehane wasn't exactly a fluke. I can't believe I lost! I can down a pizza in 20 seconds! How about you?
Definitely not that cool. But now that we've got all of the word list done, and we don't really have anything else to do, let's head out of the game and let's see if there's any new information for us. So we got some new board messages. See, and that this is about the only time they really reference it, that now all of a sudden the protected area is open again. I also like the touch they add in sometimes with like that last one where it just some players talking back and forth. I mean, as you can see, it's even the forums do just a little bit of world building sometimes. You don't really get a whole lot of advancement there. Alright, now this is a very important one to remember. Elba tells you about the virus cores. And she also mentions a little bit of information about the different types that you can get. It's also something else to remember, that as you have a low virus infection on your own character, the odds of getting a virus core is higher. So if you're going around and data training everything that you can, you're not going to get as many as if you target certain monsters. see, not really, still not really anything that we can use to develop the game and move any farther. So we're kinda, or are we?
We meet again. Well, it appears that you know Orca.
Know him? He is the one who invited me to come here and play this game.
Then I must ask. I have not been able to contact him since that event. What has become of him?
Do you trust me?
What you say will determine. I see. How much of that is true, I do not know. But do not dare to forget that bracelet's power is the same as the one that placed Orca into a coma.
Yeah, I know. I don't have to be reminded of it.
You don't have time to get depressed.
Who are you?
A friend, or perhaps a foe. A meddler with a warning.
You sent that email? Helba?
That aside, I must warn you, beware of Leos.
Leos?
Leos is on the side of the system. With that bracelet, you'll be treated as a virus. Also, you need this. You're thinking, how does she know, right? It's not that hard to imagine. Like I said, someone is always watching you.
Hold on. Why are you helping me?
Helping you? Who knows? You might be the one helping me. Take care, little boy.
So a little bit more story, just as we get a little bit more introduction to Balmung and Helva, and now we've got some information on the board again. Now this sounds a whole lot more like what we saw. Girl in a white dress being chased by a thing with a red wand. We'll have to check out that field address. So a little bit more information on Grunties from what we read before. That'll become more important as we get a little farther into the game. And our next jumbled message. Again, I'll leave it here for just a little bit so that if anybody's interested in trying to decipher it themselves, they're more than welcome to. But I won't spoil it for anyone. And then we get an email from Black Rose about that as well. And we've just unlocked Beta Circle. But for now, we will call this an episode, and I'll see you guys next time.